Hello, and thank you for joining us in this Global Cello Side Project number 5, Palladio, and this will be a tutorial for the fifth part. I wrote this fifth part to be mostly open strings. The place that you have to not use open strings, we have some fingerings, is starting at letter C, going from C to D. So I'd like to start there and talk about what the fingerings are, because we're going to be using low 2 on all of these. So at C, it starts on an open D string, and then the next measure, 28, you go to 4 on G. The next measure is 2 for F, then 1 for E, stay 1 on E, go to open D, then down to the G string, 4 for C, then 2 for B flat, then 1, 2, 1, and then the 16th notes, you do the, and then the pattern does the same thing again. Start. 2, 1, open, 4, 2 again, then 1, 2, 1, 2, open, 1, and then at D you're back to open string Ds. Most of the song are going to be D because we're in D minor, so we get to be the metronome. We get to be the ones who keep the pace steady. And even when we're going eighth notes or quarter notes, or even the 16th. So in all of this, listen to the clicks. When we play, I like to use headphones that go over the ears, but only put it on one ear so you can still hear what you're playing in the other ear. And then when you play, you'll hear the click, click, click going on in your track. So you could play along with it. Tick, 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 tick. And every single note is going to be kind of short because in Palladio, we don't want to, you want to hear a little bit of space between every note. So anything like that, it's like at letter A, we're going to go 1, and then quarter notes. So anytime that we're playing, listen for the tick and make it match with you. You could even pluck if you don't have the good with the bowing. You can play these pluck. That'll work too. And then other things to look out for is the dynamics. You'll see it starts MP, mezzo piano, which is kind of soft. And it stays soft, and then when it turns in measure 7, then it becomes a little bit louder when we do the eighth notes. But at letter A, it gets back to soft again. And it slowly gets louder until at the very end of 18, you're super loud. So from measure letter A, it starts mezzo piano, then it's a little bit more, then it's a little tiny bit more, 13, 14, measure 15, measure 16, now you're up to about forte. And then at 17, and 18, the loudest thing, and then back to soft at B. And at letter C, it's even softer because they're going to have a solo playing. So when this stays quiet, all that until the very end of measure 32, when you see the hairpin, the two lines going from soft to a little louder. When you get to that point, then you start getting louder and louder, and then here's forte, and then back to quiet. Not quite as quiet as at C, a little bit louder, but not much. it stays that mezzo piano, kind of soft, until 40, when it's, see the hairpin again, get louder again, all from 40, 41, 42, until you get to letter D, then it's forte. And we're back to being the metronome. And then the one measure before E, fortissimo, super loud. And then at E, it goes back to just loud. In the Coda, when we're playing through this, I'm going to say those letter names as we come up on them. So you'll hear in the speaker, it's like letter A or letter G. And that's where we should be in the music. If you're not there, we can stop and start and find out where it is. But Coda, it's the end, the tag end, and they're going to suddenly drop into being really quiet. So when we come in, they've spent a measure getting louder. Then the loudest that you can play. And you can take a couple bows, you can take multiple bows if you want to on that last note, but we'll hold it for a 4 count and then stop. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, off. So shall we do a playthrough? We will hear 2 measures of the clicks before we actually start playing. Everybody ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, play. Measure 1, measure 2.
And we're done.